So we have some coaches who are going to teach people, bring people how to do it. And all of this technology, we love it, but we should also use it.
So this is, I was talking to we were talking about this, thinking about technology, and using a tool not a crutch. And that's what I'm going to do using crutches. From she's going to well, go back to and then Chris is one of those things. Handwriting exercises is good for the brain. It's also right. My son is a generation. So he's not going to me. I was looking at this, because he's 15, so there's a little gap.
That's right. As I was talking to some seniors, they girls from Fullerton who were saying, we were the end of the generation that was taught. And they said, the sophomores are good.
My freshman is like,
Can we want this to be intergenerational?
I would love for him to, I have seen
We would love that. We need some young people to share their situation.
I think it's important. I think it's a lost art, and I think there is that gap where nobody knows. I always think at one point there were a lot of businesses that were having to changing their logos because their logos were cursing. Generation 3 months. Isn't that crazy? So yes, please. I'm Jordan.
Greta.
Great.
So we don't have a presentation.
I would love that. I would love to be there. And to learn more. Oh, everything. Oh, Amy's gonna be here. Love Amy.
I know you from somewhere, Eddie, right?
Yeah.
Right.
What
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 24. Yes.
Hello, Eddie. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. We're just talking. I'm Jay.
But it knows nothing about reality. It doesn't just know the facts.
I showed you.
What's achievable? Because Slackbot isn't just another app. It's anyone who knows your words and Visit slackbot.com/meetsample to learn more.
Kelly.
My first dentist in Fullerton.
Oh, yeah? That's nice. Dr. Dow's daughter. I've been married for 38 years and I still go by Dow half the time.
Okay.
Oh, Philip's sitting here. You want to sit there? I'll sit here. I get it. I made myself an island, but it's like a next chair. Do you know about my Kristen? Or you just have it
I don't think I did.
It was in the years that they. Oh, sure.
I work with Eddie and walk around and you can sit on the car.
It's always the biggest party.
Oh,
But no, that one. Just watch that one again.
For my time.
Yeah, then it was delicious.
They'll have people all dressed up in running costumes. Some in sweats, some in tuxedos and gowns. They're artists.
Now schools in the same district also. This principal.
Well, we're just on the other side. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Now, do you have a site? Today? Oh, wonderful. Came on a good day. Nice to meet Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you would.
It's gotten harder. It's gotten harder.
They picked up on that other way.
No. We were for 10 minutes.
When the day comes, yeah, because your daughter would be up for it.
I mean, she, it would be.
That's right. You might. But we work our way out. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you did everything. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Things are going well. We lost a horse.
Did you get that coffee here?
Back to this frame. Yeah, it was really hard, you know, because I've been vice president and then I trying to bring the new, That's how you know what hero.
John? Good to see you. How about you? Very good. Gotta give our updates.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming, joining us at the Fullerton Collaborative. Happy Monday afternoon. So hope everything's going great with you. We've got a good meeting planned for today, and hopefully you'll be super glad that you came, and we'll make some time. We have time for some connection afterwards as well. So anyways, we appreciate all of you and carving some time out. So I'm going to invite Debbie to come up at this time, and she's going to invite our guests and conduct a little interview with our city manager, with our new city manager. So we're excited about that.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for coming today. We are very honored for you to be here, and we wanted to introduce, and so kind of the backstory with the board, as we're talking about how can we support the city in our efforts. We have a room full of amazing people, as you can see, our members of fantastic nonprofits, businesses, organizations, and individuals in the city of Fullerton that really want to make a difference in our city and really support the city. So we invited Eddie to come and join us to just share his story about why Fullerton, and also some of the things that we could do to help support this city as we move forward. And so that's what our discussion is. It's a very engaging discussion around collaborative engagement. So Eddie, you want to come up and just share a little bit about yourself? And thank you.
You don't get to sit down.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's an honor to be here. I don't really like being the center of attention, but I quite clearly am at this moment. But again, it is my pleasure to be here. I've attended one of these meetings once before, and it is an impressive collection of people dedicated to our community. So I do appreciate that. I know I haven't had a chance to meet each one of you individually, so I'll say a few things about myself so you can kind of start getting to know me. My name is Eddie Manfro, and I recently stepped into the role of city manager. I believe it was March 3rd council meeting where it became official. Prior to that, I had been in the interim spot for about 7 months. And then prior to that, I had done a few years as the director of human resources with the city. I came to the city of Fullerton in September 2020 at the invitation of then city manager Ken Domer. He and I had been acquainted with each other because I used to be a city manager in Westminster. So we were colleagues in those circles. So prior to coming to Fullerton, I've had a long 30-plus year career in local government, exclusively local government. It's the only thing I've ever done since I was 22 years old. I'm 56 now, so you can do the math. I've worked for many different cities over these years. I started in Alhambra, and then moved on to Hawthorne, then moved on to Santa Monica, then went down south to La Mesa in San Diego County, then came back up to Orange County, to Westminster, where I actually did about 12 years. All of those travels were all in human resources. And then after about 4 years in Westminster, I got moved into the city manager's office and then ultimately became the city manager, where I did that for about 8 years. I actually live in Orange County. I grew up in Los Alamitos, currently live in Los Alamitos, about 5 doors down from the house that I grew up in. Honestly, didn't know a whole lot about Fullerton until I came here. I mean, I come here every once in a while, but I didn't really understand this community until I started coming here every day and working here. I do very much enjoy it. How did I arrive again in Fullerton? So when I left Westminster, I thought I was done with public service, and I had intended to go into a private sector endeavor. However, due to the pandemic and things that had changed with COVID, those plans really they weren't going to work out the way I wanted. So I kind of regrouped and decided I wanted to go back to my human resource roots. And that's what actually brought me here to Fullerton. I was doing some consulting for the human resources department. Then I came out of retirement actually and became the full-time director of human resources. And then as fate would have it, Eric Levitt left. He wasn't supposed to do that to me, but he did. And then the city council decided to put me in as interim, and now ultimately here I am as your city manager. So been quite a journey. It's the second city manager job that I never intended to have, but I'm happy to be here, and I hope to do the best I can for this community. You know, one of the great things I do like about Fullerton is how engaged the community is. I've worked for a lot of different cities, and they all have different levels of engagement, but this town's pretty extraordinary in the number of different sectors that come together and really want to do what's best for its community. I know that can sometimes be a little clumsy, and you know, everyone's got their own opinion, but I think what really matters is that people care, and as long as people care and they want to help each other, I think we can get where we need to be. So whether you're working in health and wellness, helping those experience homelessness, supporting students and families, or creating opportunities for young people, your work matters so much to this community, and the city does recognize that, so thank you. You know, a lot of the most important work that happens in the community isn't done by the city government. It's done through organizations like yours and through partnerships like this. So, you know, we're one spoke in the wheel as a city, just as you are in your organization. So we depend on you as much as you may depend on us. There's been a lot of talk over the last month or so about where the city is financially. So I don't want to ignore that. I do want to be candid. There's been a lot in social media, various headlines, but it's really something that I kind of walked into almost day one, and my first council meeting as the city manager on March 17th, I had to, you know, provide some tough news to the city council, and we're working on that to this day, and we'll be working on it for many weeks and months to come. So I didn't want you to hear from me some of the challenges that the city is having in that regard. So we ended the last fiscal year with an operating deficit in our general fund of $5.7 million. And this year, with the budget that we're currently in, we have a $3.8 million structural deficit as well. So that means reserves have been used. And yes, that means the city's savings are being used to help balance this budget over the last couple of years, and probably a couple more going forward. There's been a lot publicly discussed about missing reserves or money being unaccounted for or any other number of representations. So I just want to be clear about what some of these items are that we did discuss with the city council. So there is one of the parts of the discussion is how our reserves are structured. Our general fund reserves, which is basically our savings account, have several components. Some components are free and clear to use for whatever we need to use them for, like a true savings account. Others are set aside for very specific purposes based on prior actions of the council. So those would be monies that, although they are monies in our account, they're dedicated, much like you might have 529 set aside for your children's education. Yeah, it's your money, but you can't just use it for an emergency. So in that context, $2.7 million had to be reallocated from unrestricted to restricted. So the $2.7 million is still there. It just now has strings attached to it, and it's not part of the overall discretionary reserves that we have. The other big piece, which is really, I think, why I brought some of these budget concerns front and center to City Council, had to do with the closeout of our year-end audit. And in that audit, we had a finding, and the finding had to do with a property transfer that goes back to the redevelopment days. Now you'll hear a term called the successor agency. The successor agency is just that. It's a successor to the old redevelopment agency, and its job is to wind down the old activities of the redevelopment agency and to dispose of those assets. So at one point in time, there was a property sale, and that property sale was booked as $2.9 million into general fund reserves. What really that should have been is it should have been a receivable to the successor agency. So that $2.9 million was shown in the city's general fund, the general fund balance, the unrestricted general fund balance, and it was there for several years. And through this last audit, it was identified by auditors and staff, and it was moved back to the successor agency. So now it's out of our general fund reserves. So again, a $2.9 million correction, not insignificant. Those are the two big adjustments, but then again, we also have an overall general fund structural deficit. And that really is, in my thinking, the bigger issue. Yes, our our savings account, if you will, took a couple of hits, but the bigger picture is that our checking account continues to be overdrawn year after year after year. And until we fix that, we're going to continue to have problems. Our costs are rising faster than our revenues. Our labor costs are up, inflation is up, the infrastructure needs continue to grow, as you all know, and demand for services keeps increasing. That affects us all. When the city is under financial pressure, it impacts our ability to invest in the services and programs that support the broader community. Things like our homelessness response, community programming, youth services, public safety partnerships, or maintaining facilities and public spaces that people rely on. So these are the things that we're working through right now. The City Council has reconvened its financial ad hoc committee to work specifically on evaluating a potential ballot measure related to infrastructure and public safety. The committee's focus is to help staff evaluate what a measure could look like, what safeguards should be included, and how to ensure transparency and accountability if something ultimately moves forward. At the same time, the city's going to be holding community budget meetings in May to have broader conversations about the budget expenditures and the long-term fiscal strategy before bringing a proposed budget to council for adoption in June. But one of the things that we're evaluating is whether a sales tax measure for the November election even makes sense. If council wants to move forward, they would need to make that decision by July. As these conversations continue, we want to keep groups like this informed. Your trusted voices in the community and your understanding of the challenges we're facing and the decisions that are in front of the city, it matters. More importantly, we want to continue working with you, because when resources are tight, collaboration becomes even more important. The city cannot do its work alone, and frankly, neither can any one organization in this room. It takes all of us working together if we want to continue making progress for the people we serve. So I thank you again for everything you do, and I look forward to working with you moving forward. So that's some of the stuff I wanted to kind of make sure I covered and get off my chest initially. The sales tax concept, it's by no means a foregone conclusion. The council has to put it on the ballot themselves with a public vote. So if there were to be a general sales tax, and there's two kinds. There's a general sales tax or a special sales tax. The general means just that. It can be used by the city for any purposes it deems fit. The general sales tax cannot even go to the voters unless 4/5 of the city council put it on the ballot. I can tell you right now, and you all probably know, I couldn't get 4/5 of the council to approve anything right now. So that is a challenge. The special tax is a little different. The bar is a little bit lower because the threshold is so much higher. So in a general sales tax, 50% plus one of the electorate can approve a general sales tax. So since it's a low threshold for voters, it's a higher threshold for the council to put it on the ballot. The reverse is true for a special tax. A special tax requires 66.6%, a 2/3 majority of the voters to approve it. Therefore, only 3 of the 5 council members have to put it on the ballot. But again, I don't know that those 3 exist at this point in time. So, so staff, we're right now in the middle of budget preparation, and we will be for the next couple of months. We are looking at ways to how do we streamline our budget, cut our costs, so that we don't have to rely on the sales tax, because that is not certain. If we don't get a sales tax, we still have to survive. So realistically, that means we're going to be struggling to maintain the same level of service that we provide today. And we already know that there are desires for us to do more in very specific areas, particularly street infrastructure, not to mention all the other initiatives that have been debated in our council chambers many, many times. So that's kind of what I have as prepared remarks. My short-term focus, right now as a city manager, is to get us through budget adoption. And then if there is going to be a sales tax effort, to do the proper education that requires. Cities, when it comes to sales tax measures, we're kind of limited in what staff can do. We can educate, we cannot advocate. So you won't hear me say I want a sales tax. You might hear me say things like, with the sales tax, I could do X, Y, or Z. So we do have to be careful. At the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their vote and to their own choice. My charge is to show consequences for various choices and various levels of funding that the city would have. So I do have one. Well, I'll stop for a minute and let our moderator kind of let me know what you need from me, and then
questions for you.
Sure.
question to you, and as we're looking at the room here, how can we as residents be more effective in making our voices heard?
Well, there's the obvious, I think. If you can come to council and make your voice heard. But you don't have to go to council. There are other avenues. Me and my department head team, we are available to answer questions of the community. Those can be very specific questions about, what's going on the corner of, X, Y, and Z, and when are we gonna fix it? Or it can be broader conversations about a partnership that you're interested in pursuing, or just a community issue that you're observing and you wanna dialogue. So I'm available, Daisy's available, my department head team is available. It kind of just depends on the issue at hand. But I don't, again, some people are not comfortable going to council, some people don't find it to be effective. But staff is here as well to address concerns.
Okay. And the other question that we were thinking about is how are the opportunities, are there any opportunities for stronger partnerships with the schools here, with families, with the city programs? Is there opportunities for us to have stronger relationships? We have a really good relationship, but is there any opportunities for stronger relationships?
I feel like there are opportunities. I think, my observation is that some of my staff has kind of looked to follow council's lead on certain things, but and certain things we may need their approval for to move forward on, but I don't think we need to wait for their lead to even have the discussion. And there are some groups in this room that I think we could have stronger relationships with as the city. I think of Fullerton School District as one example. I think that's a natural relationship that could be strengthened. We have shared fields, shared services to some extent. Our police department services a lot of areas around town, and so I do think through regular communication, through the city being a part of the collaborative, that certainly continues to be helpful. But also, I do think some more structured involvement from the city, I think would be helpful, and I put that on us. I think sometimes we tend to be kind of an observer in this rather than an active participant, and with some exceptions, obvious ones, right? I mean, our library, our Parks and Rec department, our police department, they're actively engaged in the community at all times, but to be actively engaged in the dialogue here for us, not just always being reactive, but trying to put some processes and programs together that would be responsive. We just need to be in this room more frequently.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Eddie. And then the last question, and I don't know if we'll have time for any other questions from the audience, but what's the most we can get the bang for our buck out of moving forward? Last, any last minute words? How are you going to move forward in the last moments?
I'm not sure 100% follow that question, but
okay.
Can you help elaborate on that?
Yeah. So what can the city do that gets the most bang for its buck? Basically, where we're moving forward, what can we get the most out of working with this group here? What do you see that?
I mean, again, from my perspective, everyone in this room has very direct access to very particular segments of the community, and you understand those particular needs. You are the experts, so I think just either through a forum like this or through your contacts that you already have with various staff and department heads, just continue to inform us of things we might not 100% be aware of or things we might not be properly addressing. There's always going to be some gray area between who services whom, right? Out in the community, there are things that the government clearly does. There are things that faith-based groups clearly do. A lot of the nonprofits, you each have your own niche, but I think we all understand there are certain needs and certain groups that maybe don't fit neatly into one bucket and might require multiple resources to address them. So again, just I tell it to my team, don't assume I know everything just because I'm the city manager, and I would tell you the same about the city as a whole. Don't assume we know everything just because we're the government. We probably know less than we should. So we could always use information.
So the last question is just any exciting things happening that you want to share with the community moving forward?
Well, I did have one prepared announcement, which I do believe is quite exciting, and I would like her to stand up to be recognized. But we do have a new library director, Anita Torres. Anita comes to us from the city of Pomona, which in talking to her has some very similar challenges as to things that we face here in Fullerton. I believe today is the start of her third week, so fourth week. Okay, time flies. So, but every Monday, I'm glad to see that she came back. So, but she has extensive municipal library experience. She has really good thoughts on community engagement, literacy, things like that. And so I think she's going to fit right in and be a tremendous asset for the city. So I look forward to her continued efforts here. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for taking the time. I know you are very busy. You and Daisy for taking the time today. As they scoot out, if you have questions, they are reachable, email. So they'll stick around for questions too. So thank you so much, Eddie. All right, Jay.
Thank you, Debbie and Eddie. That was great, very helpful. And we will be thinking of you, and we'd love to support you because you've stepped out into a difficult challenge right off the bat. So we want to be there to support you as well.
I'll take all your prayers.
Yeah. There we go. So we're excited to have a time for our member spotlight, and then we're going to invite the Higher Ground Executive Director to come and share a little bit of story, and I think Eddie's going to be here as well. So thank you guys for coming.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jesse. I'm CEO of Higher Ground Youth and Family Services. So it's interesting. First, I want to give it up to Eddie one more time. One more round of applause because I think just the resilience and the strength it takes to come into the situation you're walking into and to come in committed. So I commend you for that, and I feel really guilty for talking about what I'm going to talk about now. It seems so easy. But thank you, honestly. My name is Jesse. So what's funny is that I have been with Higher Ground now as the CEO for 16 months. And my very first day of work, I was here for the Fullerton Collaborative meeting. And Joe came up and he spoke about Higher Ground. And it was my first day of work. And I remember sitting right there going, whoa, what's going on? And I was lost and confused in days. And if anybody knows Joe Baldo, he is one that gets lost and confused in days and is a powerful force. But what's so cool is in that meeting that we had, he talked about the idea and the hope to bring some additional services into the city of Fullerton. So we've been in Fullerton for, I think, on year 5 now. We've been a strong partner with Fullerton School District, and we have youth mentorship at 2 schools there already. So we're at Orangeburg Elementary and we're at Raymond Elementary. And doing some really great mentorship work with the kids there. But we always talked about expanding. We've been in central Anaheim for 13 years now, and we do a lot of work there. So those may not be aware, but we have like 3 core pillars of who we are at Higher Ground. The first one is youth mentorship. That's kind of the core of what we do, is how do we provide good, stable, trusted adults to work with kids and help them find purpose and possibilities, right? That's the core of what we do. Joe started doing that specifically in juvenile hall first, and then he was working with teens as they exited juvenile hall, and then it turned into working at the community center in the city of Anaheim, and then just kept expanding and growing from there. So we do that in Anaheim. We are now doing that in Fullerton. We've been doing it in the school district, and now we have our own site here at Orange Store Park. And that's our first core pillar. The second core pillar, what we do is about family wraparound care. So what we do is that understanding that being a mentor to kids is great and it's really important. But if anybody's familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you can't really get to the higher levels of thinking and healing and growth if basic needs are not being met. And so what we did as an organization is like, well, we need to meet the needs of our families as well. So we have a program called Flourishing Families, which is about doing intensive case management with specific families. And we do a lot for them. We have counseling, we have therapy for families altogether, for parents themselves, or even for our students as well. We do the case management, we help with job placement, we have workforce development, we have English classes, we do rental assistance, and we have this open kind of food market we call our bodega, and that's our version of the food pantry that preserves dignity and is really exciting. If you've not seen it, please come to Anaheim and check it out. It looks like a little mini grocery store, and it's really, really cool. So that is our family services, that's our second pillar. And then our third one is community education. And so we've got 2 strong programs there. One of them is our human trafficking prevention program. We've taught that to over 19,000 youth in Orange County over the last several years. We're actually now in Fullerton district and teaching some of the junior high kids. And we're in the middle of like redesigning it. It's called our Seen and Safe program, and we're doing that in conjunction with Ruthie right here in this room, the Global Center for Women and Justice. So collaboration is a large part of who we are, and we're really excited about that. So those are the 3 core pillars. So what I get to give you the exciting update is we are now serving more than just elementary kids within the city of Fullerton. We now have I think it was a former like senior community center, or is this? It was a community center.
That's it.
That was it. But I know they did senior programming, but it's right there in Orange Store Park. It shares the parking lot with Orange Store Elementary School. It's that little building. That's where Higher Ground is now. So there's our pictures of it inside. So we really try to transform the space, because when we came to the city and we were having these amazing meetings, it's like, what are the needs, right? What are the needs of this community right here in Orange Store Park? Obviously not after school care for elementary kids, because they already have that at the elementary school that we're already part of. But we heard 2 things loud and clear. One of them is a safe place for teenagers to go to. We need a place that our junior high or high school kids can go to after school. And the second thing is like some sort of services and programming for families, for the parents during the school day. So we took a look at that space and we said, all right, let's do something really cool, let's do something really exciting. We've got a couple of cool grants. So this is like in Anaheim, it's very similar. In Anaheim, they call it the Cheeseman Corner, which is basically where all the gossip happens. And so this like little fake fireplace, movies surround town, couches, with our Instagram wall right here. And then you have like our gaming PCs over here, and then our PlayStation. But we also have a pool table that converts to a ping pong table, because ping pong is the world's healthiest brain sport. It engages your brain. I mean, unless you say chess. Some people say chess is a sport, but we can have that argument. But for the active sport, ping pong engages your cerebellum, and there's no concussions from a ping pong ball. It's a little teeny ball. So, but they have fun with it. They play pool, they play ping pong. But you can see in this picture right here, we also have a whole learning space with desks and chairs and its own TV, and that's where our community members are coming. So during the mornings, at 8:15 in the morning, we already have 3 classes running. One of them is a brain education class that I'm teaching, and I think we had 10 moms show up, and Eddie right here is translating for me. And so we're talking about practical brain science and helping parents understand the intricacies of how the brain works and how to protect it, especially protecting your children's brain, but also helping parents to understand, especially moms, helping moms to understand that the number one thing that a child needs in their life is their parents' brains to be working great. Because if you have a mom or you have a parent that's in crisis and their brain isn't working right, guess who suffers? Everyone, but especially the kids. So trying to like switch that narrative a little bit and show some the power and the critical information necessary. So we're doing that class, and we're also doing the Zumba class. The mom said we want to move, and you can see with the lighting in there. So there's actually like laser lights, and it turns into a little dance party inside that rec center. And they have their Zumba classes in there. And then the third one is the nails. Is it the nails? Yeah, the nails class, so learning. So the workforce development we do, we also, like in Anaheim, we do sewing, we do balloon arch making and cake decorating, anything to equip the community with an ability to earn some income and to develop skills. That's what we'll be doing here. So it's open to all the community during the school day, right, 8:15. But as soon as the school lets out for junior high or high school, the parents get kicked out because no teen wants their parent to be in the rec room, and that becomes the teen center. And then you have the teens coming here. So we're already at 10. We've done zero like marketing. We just want it to be a soft opening, kind of just build slowly. Because we made a really cool space to get the teens into the building, but we know that just gets them in there temporarily. It's really the mentorship and the connection and the relationship that keeps them in the building. And so they started, I think it was a week before spring break. And our intention was to close during spring break. And by day 4, they were like, please don't close. We want to go somewhere during spring break. Otherwise, we're just left to our own devices. So we switched it up. We were open all of spring break. And now they're already saying, what about summer? Are we going to have something for summer? And we just made the call. We're going to do it. So we're going to be open to the teens for the whole summer. We're excited about it. And yeah, so that's where we are. So Jordan is going to talk a little bit about what's coming ahead for this space coming up very soon that we would like all of you guys to attend.
Hi everybody, so I'm Jordan Barrera. I'm the Director of Communications and Development at Higher Ground. I've been involved with the program for 8 years. I started out as a mom. My son went through the program and he's now 15. And I can tell you firsthand, I've gotten to see the amazing impact it's had in the Anaheim community. So I'm super excited to see it coming to the Fullerton community. And I'm excited to see it help moms like me who are struggling and need the support, both to build their sense of community, but also for their kids to build a sense of community and connection and find, additional family through mentorship and through these programs. So with the Fullerton side, we are excited to our official ribbon cutting. We'd like to invite everyone in this room if you'd like to attend. It will be May 21st at 11:30 a.m. So we want to invite all of you to join us. There will be food, coffee. Our partners from Chick-fil-A will be there with the cows to help make it a fun celebration. We'll have coffee. You can register through the North Orange County Chamber of Commerce. They're helping put this together as well. So it's going to be a really fun event, but really one of the key things that has made Anaheim successful has been its collaborative partnerships. No one can do this alone. Everyone in this room, obviously we're here, we know that, right? It's about us coming together and figuring out, okay, you do this really well, let's see how we can bring this to this community and how can we partner to reach more families, more kids, and provide true wraparound care. And so we're so excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here. I know they are as well, to get to know each and one of you, to get to know your programs, and to see how we can partner with you to really build our impact in the city of Fullerton. So again, if you'd like to join us on May 21st, we would love to have you there. It will be exciting, it will be a fun day, and then moving forward, if you have ideas for ways we can work with you, if you have families we can support, one thing about all of our services is they're completely free. So in Anaheim, we offer counseling and therapy, we offer case management, we have the bodega. Our long-term goal is to bring that all to that Orange Shore Park and serve that community. And then if we have families that come to us that maybe live in other communities, we want partners we can refer them to as well. So thank you guys so much. We are so excited to be here and are super excited to now be an official part of the Fullerton community.
I just want to thank the they're not here, but the school district, the elementary school district right now, it's going out of their way to welcome us. And what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying that is because all the programs and activities that we have at the park, the parents, they're being key. They invited me, can you come and be at a table with our food distribution? Sure. And they've been walking with, alongside us, knocking on doors, talking to families. And I really want to say thank you to the elementary school district because they've been very welcoming and helpful when it comes to working with families.
So again, thank you. We're really excited, and I want to echo just what Jordan says. Like the Fullerton Collaborative is something that's always been exciting to me. I was so impressed on my first day of employment here 16 months ago. But we also know that it does take a village, and that we are a small piece in this one community within the city of Fullerton, and we're open. So we've already talked with like Solidarity, and we're meeting with them and watching and learning and growing from the amazing things that they're doing there. We've already talked with OC United and seeing the amazing and wonderful things that they're doing there. I've met with the principal over at the local junior high school to find out Nicholas, and it was like, okay, what's going on? What are the needs of the community? So for us, it's about how we partner together with any and anyone who is wanting to do this work and serve this community in amazing, authentic ways. So I have a stack of cards. Please feel free to take one. My cell phone number and my email is on there. You can get hold of Eddie or Jordan as well. We're here to collaborate and be partners and try to serve this community, and we're really excited to do so. And also, our kids went to Terrace Chance and rode horses last summer, and it was amazing. We're going to do it this summer because it gives them a cool new experience. So, again, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to be here.
That was amazing. We're super excited to see the Orange Thorpe Community Center have some vibrant opportunities for our community. So great job. I look forward to going and celebrating with you, hopefully in May. So that the dates will be published through the collaborative here, so we'll make sure that you get the invite. I've seen that space over there by Orange Thorpe for a long time sit empty. So this is really exciting to see. Great stuff coming into our city here. So we're getting toward the end of our meeting, and one of our main goals is that we learn how to collaborate together. So how we can, as a collective group of nonprofits, how we can actually accomplish things together. So we have 4 subcommittees that we keep in front of you every month, because we want you to be a part of that. We want you to know what's going on. And so first I'm going to ask James if he would come up and tell us about the homelessness subcommittee, and then Debbie's going to talk to us about the others, I think. All right. Well, let's welcome Mr. James Kennedy.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So we will be meeting for the homeless subcommittee this Wednesday at 11 a.m. We have had some difficulties with the meeting space, so we're going to do Teams this month. Typically, it's an in-person meeting, but the location that we're at is no longer available, so we're going to be going and meeting via Teams. I will be sending out that link to the folks that attend that meeting, and if you are interested, and if attending virtually is an option for you to attend, then please go ahead and contact me. I'm happy to have you there. During last month's meeting, we did have the Hope Center come and present. They presented on some of the services that they have been offering. And then we also talked about potential education opportunities that we might be able to bring to the committee and potentially the collaborative as well. So that is a work in progress. I'm hopeful to have more of a report out come this following meeting here in May. But if you have any questions or if you want the link, please feel free to connect with me. We're happy to have you participate in the committee.
Thank you, James.
All right, I think I get to wrap up really quickly the last 3 subcommittees. So our next meeting will be in May on the 13th via Zoom. Health and wellness will be on the 22nd, and early childhood will be in May on the 19th. Just a quick update. We had a great partnership, and I wish Christian was in the room today from the city of Fullerton. He has been an instrument in working with us with our youth committee, And we partnered with them and had a fantastic development day here in the same room with some youth from all of our high schools and our 7th and 8th graders. What a great opportunity for them to know what's going on in the city, be partnered with the different offices in the city, but also to meet the mayor and have some of the questions that they asked were amazing. I'm like, this is our young people. So we will have an opportunity to share some of the outcomes from that meeting. It is basically a vision that we had from this next gen committee that we've been visioning for years, and it came to fruition this year. Our hope is that we'll launch a youth summit where we can invite larger numbers of youth to be able to really come together and have a voice in our city, and working with the youth committee with the city as well. Health and wellness, we have been meeting monthly. We are looking for someone to talk about youth and also use of social media and impact on mental health. So if anybody knows any resources, that will be our next discussion, because we work in health and wellness, mental health as well. So that'll be our discussion in the 22nd. Early childhood, as you know, the children, the Condition of Children report has been out, and there's going to be an opportunity for you to come to the presentation of that meeting. I also want to invite tonight, there is actually a presentation at Cal State Fullerton for early childhood. There's actually doing how statewide investments in early childhood education shapes outcomes for children. It's a free event. All of this is found in our resources on the Google folder, and I would invite you to come and attend. But these are meetings. And with that, we want to talk about Love Fullerton, and then we're going to have a discussion around what's going on in the city.
Okay, so the last announcement, there's a little QR code on the table. Do you see that? So in 2 weeks, we have our 13th annual Love Fullerton Day. And this is to invite all of you to come and participate with us at lunchtime. So we do an after-party luncheon. We have about 10 of our local businesses in the city that are providing in-kind services to us, and part of that is a lunch. And really, we have a chance to, if everything fills up in our volunteer slots, we're gonna have close to 2,200 people. So there's a lot of people, and the kind of people that you wanna be talking to at your table, because they're the kind of people that are giving up a day to go and participate in service throughout our city. So we want to invite you to come and be there, and to invite them to come to your table. In order to get them to come to your table, you need something, we ask that you have 100 items of something that they'll want to come to your table. So we'll let that competition go within yourselves. But anyways, be creative, have fun, and we'd love to invite you to come. So the QR code is here. Today is our cutoff, because we've got to get planning, and then you'll come and set up on Saturday, like at 10:30 or so. You'll come and set up, and then we have from 12 till 1:30 for the time for you to interact with our community and the volunteers. Any questions about that?
I just want to add, Jay, the focus is also for you to highlight any opportunities for you to have community serve throughout the year. So especially highlight any volunteer opportunities, because we had last couple of years, people come to our table saying, how can I get involved? How can I get involved? And so if you have opportunities and volunteer sign-up sheets, bring them, because you have the people that want to give back to the city. Okay? So just sign up, because we need to know how many, if we need tables or food, canopies, we have to be around. But if you absolutely can't find it, Dave and I will figure it out.
Yeah, so that's very helpful. One of the things that I tried to introduce last year, some of you remember, the concept was called Volunteer Central, and it was actually an app on a phone. Well, that program didn't go so great. There was just the complications of connecting the app to the program, and then keeping it ongoing, just proved to be very challenging for Modesto, which is actually starting this. So actually what we're doing, and it's been very successful, is we are able to provide ongoing volunteer promotion and an avenue for you to do that through the website. And so I will be working on that to bring that back to you, but any volunteer needs that you have, you can use the Love Fullerton website as a way to communicate those needs and those opportunities. And so I will be coming back to you, and if you have those kinds of things, this is a great group of people to, again, to be reaching out to. So we will make that available, but this time it'll just be through the sign-up process that they're already, many of them are already logged into, they're already used to, so it's a very easy thing to use, and it's very user-friendly for the leaders in your organizations as well. So that is a service that we will be making available. I'd love to, and we need you to help make that happen, because if you have volunteer needs that you want to reach out to this pool of volunteers, then we can help you at that point. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. So we have some final time here to hear from you if there's any other events or anything that you want to share around the room.
And we have a lot going on, so I know we have only 10 minutes. I do want, before we do that, we have a couple of new people, friends in the room. Solidarity, you wanted to introduce yourself so people know who you are.
I know who this guy is.
I know, but some people.
Yes, thank you, Debbie. So if you're coming, this is your first meeting, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm Waylon Wong. I'm with Solidarity. I serve on the board there, so I'd love to meet you on here and just come introduce yourself. Right? I'm a nice guy.
He is a nice guy. Anybody else? This is your first time to our meeting today?
It's not my first time, but it's been a very long time. Yeah, thank you. Hi, I'm Sandy Ruiz. I'm from Radiant Futures. I'm the Director of Housing, and so I'm stepping in for Stephanie today, but I will be coming moving forward. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, Stephanie. It's great to have you. So any other things that you would like to share, something that you think this group needs to hear from you? We'll give you a chance to share. We've got a few minutes, and we appreciate that. I'm going to go over here first, and then I'll come over here.
I've been here before, but my name is Sanai Fortho, and I'm with Oseco Solar. We're a nonprofit organization serving Orange County to improve access to clean energies, sustainable living, helping people learn about avoiding bad air quality from their rooms, and providing services for clean energy appliances. So we have a workshop coming up April 30th. Please check out our website, osecosolar.org. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Well done. I'm going to go here, then I'm going to come here and back over here.
I'm Walt. I'm with the Fullerton House Lions Club, and we're having a major fundraiser next Sunday at 2:00 at Golfers Paradise, which is just north of the AAA Inn on Harbor Boulevard. And it's a putting tournament. Come and help us to raise funds for charity.
Okay, thank you. Golfers Paradise, right there.
Hi, this is our second time, so not first, but we didn't get to quite meet everyone. My name is Madeline, and this is Heather, and we're from His OC, or Homeless Intervention Services of Orange County. So we basically assist with a couple of programs, transitional shelters for people who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. We have CalAIM services, which I'm the intake coordinator for, but I'm happy to tell you about other stuff we do.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm from the Women's Club Fullerton, and we have our upcoming fundraiser. It's Funko Boogie. It's May 9th, so it's Saturday before Mother's Day. It's really fun. It's only $35, and you can go register on womensclubofullerton.com. And it helps our charity of the year. So this is what we raise funds for. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Greta Nagel, and Mary Deming is with me today, our treasurer for the Museum of Teaching and Learning. Our acronym is MOTAL for Museum of Teaching and Learning, so you may see modal written around town. We have two big events coming up, and one is next week. Cal State Fullerton, in partnership with us, is opening our 48-foot mobile called Your Baby's Amazing Brain. Don't drop the ball. It's not for kids, it's for parents. And so it'll be there at Cal State Fullerton the 23rd and 24th. This Thursday, the Museum of Teaching and Learning is featuring Sharon Quirk Silva, Assemblywoman who passed the legislation that finally brought cursive handwriting back. There's a generation of kids, and you probably know some, who have no clue how to write in handwriting. So she's going to present, and we have a workshop with some coaches to help you write beautifully.
There we go. Thank you very much. Anybody going to use your cursive writing? Every day we got our signature, beyond your signature. Any other announcements? Well, thank you all for coming. We have a little bit of time left, so be sure you introduce yourself to a couple people. Eddie, thank you so much for coming to be a part of this. Jesse, Eddie, thank you for coming, and you have our support. Let's reach out and see how we can help our new city manager to have a great, successful year ahead. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Jesse, I'm Katie. I work with Rock Music across the Fullerton. I do know this is something that I'm here with my colleague, but when I saw you on the agenda, I told Rob, I was like, oh, we're definitely going to go. So I said to say hi. This is my best week. And he's going to work on getting you that voice and girls support.
Yes, that would be great, yeah. I think we're trying to.
Thank you.
Of course.
How's it going?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Yourself?
I'm doing good.
Responsible for the city council and the city hall open. They can come by anytime.
Okay, the city council and city hall is open?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard you say before. Here, hoping to get. That's what we do. Good job. Maybe that was yeah, thank you. That was a great presentation. I am really excited. I saw that space a long time ago, and it's such a hard. In one sense, it's like I love what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, what can you do in there? Yeah, so great job. I love seeing
Okay.
Do I?
And I think the connection with everybody's here. How to get to know them.